Welcome back. We're here to have a look at the Divine Masculine this week and what particularly is coming up for them. For those of you that don't know, I'm Yildiz from Yildiz Readings, a psychic medium, clairvoyant, and intuitive astrologer. If you do want to visit our website for a private booking or to join our Sage Inner Circle network, we do have a landing page for it. Now we're going to get straight into this spree. And already I can see for the Divine Masculine, they're really in this mindset of the direct changes, but it's almost like at an energetic level, they're having a revelation. It's a pit stop. It's like a sudden revelation, something inside of them has changed. And I really did see this kind of amping up from the beginning of the year, coming to a point where there's this bold rebirth. Now, this to them can feel like a sticking point. It can feel like they're taking a critical eye on the direction they're going and the changes that's happening and who they're connecting in with. And we see the trees coming through, where they feel kind of connected inside a tribe to a degree, where they feel their home, they're within themselves, and they are having this little bit of an out-of-body experience. It's like, okay, I'm not really resonating with the individuals, people, places, things. Who am I? What do I want out of my life? This doesn't feel correct. And it's like, I always call this the Cinderella effect, trying to put our foot into a shoe that just simply doesn't fit. And this is a positive point because it does mean they're having revelations that something for them isn't working. But they are checking themselves. They are going into it and looking at it from a responsible point of view in a very, how would I say it? It's almost like not screaming out into the world, this isn't working for me, but holding that private frequency and saying, what is this actually showing about me? Do I need to change? Is it a circumstance? Is it a person, place, or thing? What is this going on? But it's absolute utmost in their mind. It's something that is very profoundly stuck in their mind at this point in time. Now, as we're going to the past position, I always say, and I do think we're coming into this revelation setting. I do believe this month especially, we're sort of getting to this place where we're having a revelation, maybe looking back to the most recent past and kind of having a look about where we want to go from here. With the faith energy, and we'll pull the card up. This to me is where, from a psychological point of view, they're being extremely realistic. And, I always call this the X-Files energy because we have the spiritual energy and we have the 3D energy. And again, I feel that is the Cinderella effect. We're trying to bring something down from the ethers and they're looking back to it and feeling potentially they were in alignment to get to their goal, which I do think was closing a cycle out, moving beyond the veil, moving towards the life they wanted to have. But now they're kind of looking at it going, okay, clearly that's not working. Why is that so? What has been the bugbear? What has been the situation that has been blocking this circumstance in my life and preventing me from moving ahead? What haven't I seen? And so it is this kind of feeling that they're kind of off the point at the moment. They're off the mark of where they feel is correct for them. They do feel to a degree almost cursed. So in the heart of it, again, heaven sent. It's like having to actually use their energy to go into it spiritually, but this has made them feel quite distorted to a degree. Almost feeling that some things that they directly do not feel they have faith in, they have to remove. And I kind of get from these three cards here, we get the crowning energy. Okay, where the heck am I going? Do I even fit into this, shoe? Do I even fit into this dynamic? We then go to the two cards, the one of the past and having faith. Now, the 12th house is notorious for the psychology surrounding the circumstances, and this is positioned in the past position. So, over the last few months, they have directly been pondering this. Generally speaking, from an emotional point of view, especially because we have particular transits move into Aries, I feel they're looking back to that time frame. So this subject matter has been something that has been an ongoing situation, but this pause, this reflective point is something they're doing in the context of where they stand right now. So looking to the most recent past, and I say that very loosely because I do think it's their life. But I think most recently it has become hugely apparent to them that this is no longer working, and an acceptance factor comes through with that. Why is that? Because we move into this, okay, this is who I am today. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday, because even if I wanted to put my foot back in a shoe that I don't fit, this is who I am today. Now, in the heart of the matter, sometimes feeling cursed or feeling out of alignment is an absolute blessing in disguise, because it pauses us from going further into a direction that no longer resonates with us. And going into that flow, I feel the divine masculine is saying to themselves, okay, now I could continue going down this path and know directly where this is going to take me, because it's almost like this ick feeling. An ick feeling of going back to the old version of yourself that no longer fits. And yes, it feels like it is a head and a heart decision, but it is a realistic truth to do with the heart. And there is the pink energy there. So the sacrifices they've made in connections, sacrificing their own personal needs. And with the Leo energy coming through, I do think this is very heart centered. This is an awakening inside themselves of how they connect, how people understand them, and also the deepest connection that they hold with themselves, which is that self love. They're actually feeling that they can have their dreams, that they don't have to be like everyone else. You know, many times, especially when we're in karmic relationships, it could be that the external world says to us, gee, you should be really happy. Oh, you're very lucky. Oh, gosh, you have it all. And I think our value systems collectively are directly changing. And I do get with this card here, in the world, not of the world. It it's it's almost like we could physically use that as an excuse and psychoanalyze ourselves and go into it, but directly here from the crowning energy. Well, what you think is perfect for me, is it actually perfect for me? And then we look to the past and they're like, well, I was having faith in the process, but I'm having some real reality checks here. And in the heart space, I don't feel so lucky. This doesn't feel so great. Am I in gratitude for the things I have? 100%. Am I looking at who I am now, not just what other people say? 100%. They are taking into consideration statement pieces. They are taking into consideration other people, but they're also coming to the most authentic test of their life, which is who they are from a spiritual point of view. They do feel that in this lifetime they are supposed to be happy. And they do feel whoever has entangled themselves with them are supposed to be happy, not necessarily with them, and maybe being their own individual in their own right. I do feel if there was an entanglement connected to finances, I'm almost getting this feeling that this is really going to amp up now. And we see the fish coming through on this card, and we do have the North Node in Pisces. And it's sort of like they're moving beyond, and it's not that we don't need money, we do. In this system at the moment that we currently live in, that is very much changing. However, they're realizing they need to rise above that circumstance. They're realizing, very similar to people's opinions, as we see the tree in the crowning energy, is that they can be different. They can do things differently. They can be that black sheep and have that internal love for themselves. It's almost like from a psychic point of view, they see something other people can't. They are actually looking at the divine feminine energy in the archetype setting and with the courage and conviction and using it as an inspiration piece. They also feel as though this connection between the both of you has been so profound that they haven't really been able to find it anywhere else. At times, yes, you have challenged them. At times, you have made them feel that they've had to work on themselves. And I don't think it's something outright where, it has to be something that you've directly said. It's just the vibration of the energy that kind of occurs inside the connection, regardless. They're sensing the frequency of the pearls of wisdom. And that even though there are plenty of fish in the sea, this is one message I'm getting, plenty of fish in the sea, from an emotional point of view, there's only one that takes them to that elevation. There's only one that makes them feel this etheric feeling that is more than skin deep. It's very much more than skin deep. And it's something that they're really, it's like Dorothy going home. This is something that they're wanting in their life that, may not make sense to anyone else. These are their thoughts, actions, words. These are their feelings, the vibration, the Trinity energy. This is what they're wanting to move towards. Mm. It's almost like it's ever so consuming. So their concern, and sometimes where the distance has been created, is because they knew that once they went through that door, that was it. They're also questioning themselves at the moment, are they going crazy? And again, this is a very common thing. This is very natural for an awakened state. Am I doing the right thing? Psychoanalyzing. Am I putting the foot on the right pebble? Am I going to sink? Is it going to be okay? But the one thing they do trust is you. There is a trust issue associated to karmics. There is a trust feeling. It's almost like, how do I explain it? I do think for those that are in a karmic third party relationship, I am getting that there is a self awareness around the connection that the divine masculine holds with the divine feminine. And even if they have been in this denial state of it, and I can't wait to get into the karmic third party energy this week, it's like they're aware and they're actually psychologically agreeing with that situation, only because they're becoming more honest with themselves that although the breakdown of the karmic cycle has nothing to do with the divine feminine, it's about acceptance. It's about, this does not fit me. It's not who I am. I'm becoming the most um, exposed, real, truthful version of myself, even though I don't feel deserving. This is where I got myself in trouble in the first place, is not realizing that I have the courage, is not realizing that I can be open to receiving and have a relationship that has that equal flow and give and take. And that I have really been placing myself in a very, very limited mindset of saying, this is all I can have. And I feel it's this week where they really break out of that jam and move into this energy of realizing if they continue on in that way, it's all they're going to get, is feeling that they don't fit, they don't belong. A big pondering with this week ahead as they move into big choices. Now, if you do want a booking, you can go to the website directly below. All the links are there. And we do host a Sage Inner Circle Network online if you want to join that. We do have the landing page that has all the sign up details and what is hosted within the network. Take care, and I'll see you for the next week's edition.